Always excited to bring in guests here on GKW and excited to talk to our next one as well. AEW star Kyle Fletcher. You can catch him live and in person, Peoria, Illinois. Make sure you check them out in Peoria tomorrow night. Dynamite as we get closer and closer to Dynasty. AEWTix.com. Kyle, thank you so much for jumping on, man.
No, thank you guys for having me. It's a pleasure to be back.
Okay, I got to ask this. I feel like I have to start with this
Oh boy.
because it was. I mean, as somebody who, I mean, the reason why I'm wearing the hat, I'm not gonna lie, my hair get a little thin up top here, Kyle. So it pained me to see someone who had a beautiful head of hair like yourself shave it on national television live for everyone to see. How difficult of a decision was it to shave the head and go with the buzz cut that you're currently rocking right now?
Yeah, man. It really surprisingly it wasn't too hard at all. It was something that I had thought about for a little while. It was something that I had considered doing myself. And I thought it would fit pretty well with the story. So I offered it as a suggestion. Everyone seemed to go, I mean, if you want to show it, we're not going to stop you. And I went, oh, okay, sure, let's do it then. And I think it's just even more of a dickhead move. The fact that I had a beautiful head of hair beforehand. So all you bald people, there you go.
Kyle, you are officially a friend of the show. It's the third time we've had you on. We had you on early of last year. When you step back and look at just your last 6 months in pro wrestling, what's it mean to you to look back at what you've been able to pull off?
Yeah, it's a real funny one for me. And I feel like I get asked this question a fair bit, but for me, it doesn't feel like, whilst the past 6 months, the past year have been crazy, right? Like so much has gone on. I've been the one that's there for like every single little tiny step of it, right? So to me, it doesn't feel like it's out of nowhere. It doesn't feel like it's this like brand new thing, because for me, it's been a decade. It's been years and years and years of this hard work trying to get to this point. More than anything, looking back at the past 6 months, it just feels rewarding. It feels like everything's paying off. All the sacrifices that I made, moving countries multiple times. Like, yeah, I'm exactly where I have always been supposed to be. You know what I mean?
Well, now that you get to hang out with Don Callis as well, like Don's been, I mean, he's been here, there, everywhere. He has done so
Yeah.
much within professional wrestling. What do you think you've learned the most from Don?
Wow, that's actually a really good question. Don has been one of my biggest supporters as of late over the past year or so since joining the family. It's hard to it's hard to pinpoint it on one thing. I will say probably the biggest impact he's had is on me being a bad guy. I've never been committed to this kind of role before in such a position, and every week it feels like he's coming to me with like something that he's seen or something that he remembers that he saw back in the day, and he's like, oh, do you think you could do something with this? Do you think you could do something with this? So I think that's probably where he's come in clutch the most.
Part of that family, you and Takeshita, he's one of those guys. You see stuff pop up once in a while about his past, and you're like, that can't be true. It's like, oh no, that actually is true. He started at this age.
It is, yeah.
Yeah, somehow,
It's
some way,
crazy.
it's all true. All of his resume stuff. What is it like working alongside a guy like Takeshita?
Oh man, my husband Takeshita. What can I say about him? He's beautiful for one. Real nice cock on him too. I mean, I'm kidding.
Okay.
No, he is just, yeah. He is, apart from myself, I think the person that I enjoy watching in the ring the most. I think he just has that style that is so. It's obviously influenced by Japanese wrestling. I love Japanese wrestling, but it's that sports aspect, that sports presentation. When he throws a forearm, I think he's killed someone. You know what I mean? And I think that is a lot of what is missing in today's wrestling. Is something that I try and capture myself. But when I watch Takeshita, I'm just like sitting there going, he's killing some people. Jesus, wow, yeah.
It's and now you're fresh off this trilogy. Obviously, the cage match I mean, at 26 years old and being so, again, still so young, especially compared to you take a look around professional wrestling. I don't think there's a lot of young guys like yourself.
Mm.
What's it like to reach this kind of fight forever thing you already have going on with Will Ospreay at such a young age? Because I feel like usually
Yeah,
you get that as you know those rivalries grow, but here we
sure.
are, and it kind of feels like you guys are there already.
Yeah, I think I think it's really, really cool. It's my first opportunity in probably all of wrestling where I've been able to delve into a story and delve into like how to tell this story the best way. And I think it's really rewarding that people are saying stuff like that. They're saying that like, oh, they're wrestling soulmates. They could fight for 10 years and I'd still be into it. You know what I mean? So I think the fact that we've hit that, it's rewarding, but then also at the same time, in the back of my head, I now know that at any point over the next decade, 2 decades, 3 decades, because Will's only 32 as well. So like
Mm-hmm.
we have decades left in this shit, hopefully, touch wood. Um, we could revisit this rivalry every year, once a year, twice a year, like and as soon as that match gets announced, as soon as we are seen in the ring together, there's going to be an anticipation purely based off the stuff that we've already done. So I think that's the coolest part. I just know now that, hey, if we're ever struggling for ideas, chuck me and Ospreay in the ring. We'll make some magic.
Who are some guys or girls from your time as a wrestling fan that are in that boat where you say, hey, I can watch them wrestle, doesn't matter what time or day it is?
I think when I was growing up, it was like Cena and Orton was probably the big one. I know a lot of people like to like look back at their matches and be like, oh, it was whatever. But like at the time, any time they were in the ring together, I was glued to my seat. I was like, oh, these dudes are gonna kill each other. It's gonna be sick. And then yeah, I mean, further on you get like Cena and Styles. Like there's a lot of different ones over the years. But yeah, I think Cena one's probably the one that when I was a fan was the one that I was like, this is so cool.
When you look around professional wrestling, there's such an international flavor to it. Why do you think there's been,
Mm.
I mean, again, with yourself included in this, like, why do you think there's been so many international stars that have come to professional wrestling over the last decade?
So speaking from my experience, being from a country like Australia that is in such a bubble, there is this underlying like determination from these people, these trainees, these wrestlers, that it's like if you're born in America, you almost have a step up already. You're almost there. All you got to do is like you don't got to travel. It's like in your backyard almost. These massive wrestling companies where there's like job opportunities everywhere. For someone like me in Australia, if I wanted to work, there was maybe one promotion close to me that drew 50 people a show once a month. And then if I wanted to do anything else, I had to drive 10 hours just to wrestle in front of 100 people. I think there's this underlying determination with international wrestlers that it's like, if I had the opportunities that American wrestlers had, I would blow them out of the water in a heartbeat. So when you have a bunch of people like that that are pushing each other to get better, that know when that opportunity arises, they're going to over deliver. That's essentially what they do. They finally get given this opportunity. They finally get seen for the first time by international eyes, and people go like, where has this motherfucker been? You know what I mean? Like, so I think that's kind of what it is. I think it's the same for people from Europe, same people from Canada. It's when they finally get that big opportunity, that breakthrough moment, they are so ready for it that they're just ready to absolutely kill it.
You got to wrestle in Australia this year, sharing a ring with Takeshita, Kenny Omega, Will Ospreay.
Yeah.
What was that experience like? How many friends and family did you have in attendance for that one?
I probably had hundreds of friends slash family in the audience. Yeah, it was really surreal, man. Going back and like thinking about 10-year-old me, 14-year-old me when I got into wrestling, like I did not think something like that was possible. I seriously did not think it was possible. So it's hard to take myself out of the moment when I'm in the ring, but looking back in hindsight, I look at it and I go like, if you had told me even a year, 2 years ago that I would be in this situation, wrestling in front of over 10,000 people in my home country, in the ring with three of the best professional wrestlers of all time, and my name doesn't even look out of place next to that, that is, I would have screamed. I would have not known what to do with myself. So like, yes, it didn't feel crazy in the moment just because I was there. I had a job to do. But being able to look back on it in hindsight, it was very, very special and something that I will hold dear, I'm sure, forever.
You mentioned the ability that you and Will had to tell a story in your rivalry that you just wrapped up. What are some other stories you want to tell going forward?
Oh, that is an interesting one. I think the fun part is, for me, there is so much in AEW that I haven't even scratched the surface of. There's a lot of people that I have been in the ring with, yes, but like with Ospreay, that was my first chance to tell a story. So there is 100 other people on the roster that I, given a 3-month story with, I'm sure I could make magic with. It all depends on the person. I think I will take any opportunity thrown my way and I will do my best to make it awesome. And I'm sure I'm now at the point where I believe in my ability enough that I could make something awesome with anybody. It's all about finding that real emotion for me. With Ospreay, it was easy. We have so much backstory. It's finding that like little piece of realism and then building on that. So I think, whoever I get put in the ring with, it's just finding that realism, that real emotion, and then trying to portray that to the fans as well, get them to feel it.
As a competitor, how exciting is it to see that locker room continue to grow, to continue to add talent? You know, Speedball Mike Bailey just a couple weeks ago. How exciting is that for you as a competitor?
Dude, it's really cool because it keeps it fresh for me. Looking at a Speedball Mike Bailey coming in, and then obviously there's rumors flying around all the time about who could be getting brought in, the free agents that have just hit the market, and every single time it's like that creativity just like sparks. And I'm sitting there for like 5 minutes after I read a tweet and I'm like, all right, what could I do with Speedball Mike Bailey? And then I think about it and I'm like, oh my God, this is going to be so cool. And then maybe I forget about it for 6 months, whatever it is. But then 6 months down the line, I get put in the ring with Speedball and I go like, oh my God, I've been waiting for this. I'm so excited. And then we just go out there and have the greatest match of all time. So like, yeah, it's very, very exciting to say the least.
Could you ever wrestle barefoot like he does?
I could not. I personally, even when I saw him wrestling on the indies, I remember asking him, I was like, are you not scared about your toes or like stepping on a nail or like getting a splinter? And he's like, no, I didn't martial arts and blah, 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 blah. But I know me, like the first thing I would do, I'd go to like walk down the ramp and I would stub a toe and then I have to wrestle a toe with a broken toe, wrestle a match with a broken toe, and then I'd just be sad the whole time. And then my feet would be dirty. I'd have to wash them in the shower. It's a whole thing. I'm not for me.
You talked about Takeshita, your other relationship, Skye Blue. We've seen you on social media being Nurse Fletcher. How's that been for you as you get her ready to come back to the ring?
Yeah, it's honestly, I was gonna say, I don't even think it was challenging. It was in certain ways. I think more so the emotional and mental side of things. I've never, touch wood, experienced a major injury through wrestling, so this was my first kind of first-hand experience of what that kind of entails. And it was hard for me, like seeing her go through it, and then also at the same time, my career is taking off and like going crazy, and then usually Skye would be there for everything, being able to support me, being able to share it with me. And it was very, I think, hard for her to be happy for me, but then also at the same time be like, this sucks. Like, I want to be there. I want to be a part of it. I want to be doing the same thing. So definitely challenging, but also rewarding in other ways, because as she got better, as she started going through a rehab process and she was able to get back in the gym, I was there. I was able to be there for her and help her through all that kind of stuff. And I think that was very rewarding for me. So yes, Nurse Fletcher did good. It's now Dr. Fletcher getting her ready for the ring. And yeah, it should be coming sooner than we think.
Well, I got to imagine it's pretty exciting for her just based on the state of the AEW women's division, the way it's been showcased, the way it just continues to grow, and the stories that are being told over there. I got to imagine she's chomping at the bit to be a part of some of this.
You have no idea. She is like what's the word? When something's cooped up for too long and it's just ready to bust out, and it's like, ah! That's pretty much her right now.
Like we talked about this past year, you become the proto star. In doing some research, true or false, your first wrestling name was InstaGraham?
So, correction.
Okay.
Oh.
It was InstaGraham.
Oh.
So, like Instagram, but the name Graham.
Gotcha. And whose idea was this? Where did this come
from? My first trainer's idea. At the time, hipsters were very in. The term hipster was a big thing, and in Australia especially, it was a big social thing at the time. So he had this idea. We were like, if you remember Chikara had a lot of like wacky characters under masks and stuff, and he kind of thought that was the route that he wanted to go. He kind of wanted to do these wacky mask characters. So he gave me the gimmick of Instagram the hipster luchador. Wow. My mask had glasses on it. My mask had a beanie on it. It had a fake beard on it because I was 14 at the time. Obviously, I didn't grow a beard. I still can't. But yeah, that was it. That was where it came from.
So what you're telling me is we should be waiting for Instagram versus hologram. Like that's going to be the next big one, right? Like that's.
Please don't put that in. Don't put that in Tony Khan's head. Please no. Please no. Cut that. Cut that.
All right, we can cut. I mean, again, I thought we could just spitballing here.
Yeah, right.
As AEW really feels like it's starting to build some momentum here as we get closer to Dynasty, obviously All In Texas as well. What do you credit that momentum that the company feels like it has right now?
I think there's a lot of different things, but mainly I think it comes down to the fact that everyone backstage loves this place. Everyone backstage now, everyone is happy to be there. Everyone is chomping at the bit to get out that curtain and absolutely just go out and crush it. Every person that I've wrestled, every person that I've interacted with has just been like, I want to do the absolute best we can. I want to go crazy. I want to be awesome. And then like, I think there's enough of those people that energy becomes infectious. And I think it's being in the locker room, and as soon as people come back from their matches, it's like, yeah, that was fucking sick. That was awesome. You did great. And then it's like, if everyone's doing that for everyone wants to be at work. Everyone wants to be that guy coming back and getting slaps on the back when they come back. So I think that is what is going on. I think everyone loves this place, wants to succeed, and they're going to do everything they can and bust their own ass to get the company to where it should be.
Kyle, I want to say thank you so much, man. Again, people, go check him out Wednesday in Peoria, AEW Dynamite, AEWTix.com. We always appreciate the time and can't wait to see what you're going to do next over the next couple of months, man.
I think it is very exciting because I have no idea whatsoever, and I am excited for it to unfold. Personally, I am excited for it to unfold for everybody else and to take you on a journey.